everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Get Inspired, Stay Inspired. As always, it's lovely to have you here, and for me it's always amazing to be doing another episode of this sort of empowering series which I've put together. It's taken a while to get it to this level. It's been progressing slowly. I've had varying degrees of how the material has been presented, some good, some I'm not so sure, but all in all, it's been great to be a part of the series, and I have been determined to keep going and to keep sharing my inspiration and to keep sharing my empowerment and wisdom that all comes through my channeled writings. It's amazing to keep that going and to keep sharing it all with you. And I hope your day's been going well. I hope you are doing well. Really pleased you're back to watching another episode. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, of course. And if you have been with me for quite a while as part of this journey, thank you for being here, and thank you for your presence and always kind of being there to support me on this journey or along the way as well. So that said, I really do hope that this week, or no matter how you came to be sort of tuning into this episode or listening in, if it's the podcast, I'm just grateful to have you. And no matter what, I hope that everything in your life is going well. If it's not, then you've come to the right place. I trust that everything I share will give you that kick or that inspirational boost to keep you feeling on top of things, to keep you feeling as if you're conquering your challenges, you're overcoming your obstacles, you're forging forward towards your goals, and hopefully you're turning everything you want into a success and into something that you are proud of and that you are looking forward to making happen in your life. And how is it all going to happen? Well, it always starts with you. And this is the bit that I am very keen to work on with you. You know, this inner work, this work that, you know, regardless of what's going on externally, you will be able to come to grips with, you will be able to kind of take control of and begin to start allowing it to support you as you go forward towards your goals, towards your destiny, towards all that you want to achieve. And I am proud to be sharing this knowledge and wisdom with you to help you get there in your own way. So, right, let's begin. Now, quickly, I'm working through my 30 days of empowerment. It's something that you can download for free. So if those people that are enjoying Get Inspired, Stay Inspired series, that they can, grab it for free. And you can also get access to my inspirational photo quotes for the soul. Those books are in the description. You can listen to them for free. They are in the links below, and I've got book 1 and 2. I've yet to add book 3, which I've already worked through as part of this series, but I will add that soon. Time permitting, it will be up there, but you can really enjoy the other 2. Simply listen to them, and for this one, you can get a copy as well. So that being said, I will forge forward on today's passage and share my knowledge and wisdom on what I feel is being relieved, what I feel, kind of is the message that is being spoken to, or the message that the passage wants to get across to you on a soulful level. If you don't know me, all my work is soulfully channeled work, and the power behind these channel passages are really words of wisdom directed to your soul, so you can embrace them on a soulful level and begin to work through them and allow them to kind of begin to be understood and manifested and worked through for you on the physical level. So we'll cover all that, and definitely if you've been watching the previous series, lots of that information is there about this, and by all means I'll be covering more of it or delving deeper for you in this particular passage. So let's focus on today's passage. Now it says this, it's quite a short one, so I'm thinking, is this it? Actually, this is more of an affirmation, and as I said, sometimes they're affirmations, sometimes they kick you up the butt ones, sometimes they're just insightful to get you going, to get you thinking about things. So let's take a look at this one, which says, "Let me in all things remain empowered by the inner strength I know I possess." Now that to me is kind of very much an affirmation, because it's saying, let me remain empowered. So if you're doubting yourself in any way, it's encouraging you on a soulful level to remain empowered. We spoke very, very strongly about empowerment in the last episode. So some of the things I'll recap on, but some of the things I will talk about from a different angle or a different vantage point. So, you know, we can broaden our understanding of what we mean on a soulful level, what empowerment means. And it says here that empowered by the inner strength I know I possess. Now, you may be saying to me, hang on a minute, I don't know I possess any inner strength. And if I don't know I possess any inner strength, how am I going to find out, or how am I going to learn where this, you know, inner strength comes from that I am supposed to possess? And where's it going to come from? Well, I can tell you now that this inner strength comes from within. It comes from a soulful place. And the meaning of this passage is, you are going to definitely do your best. And I'm going to show you as part of this particular episode, you're going to do your best to try and tap into this inner strength. Now, what is the key here? Knowing you possess it. Because right now you're probably thinking, I never knew I possess this inner power and strength. And if I do, where is it? How can I get a hold of it? How is it going to impact me? And I'm going to cover all that, of course, to the best of my ability. But you're going to have to trust me on this, okay? Until you can become kind of knowledgeable in your soulful understanding within yourself, and in what is available to you on a soulful level, you're going to have to trust me in understanding the existence of this inner power. And you're going to have to trust me when I'm going to share with you ways in which to tap into it. Now, another thing you're going to need to do is to trust in its presence and start to believe and trust in yourself of its existence. Okay, so how do you know you possess it? For now, take it on trust. It is there and it is possessed within you. All you're going to need to do, and obviously I'm going to do my best to share that with you as part of my teachings and knowledge, is share with you how to tap in to it so that you know it's there, you know its presence is there, you know it is available for you to tap into. You know its existence means that you are not alone, you are not journeying on this physical journey by yourself, and you are not trying to undertake so many undertakings in your life alone, and that you know that knowledge exists, you possess it, and you can use it to help strengthen and guide you forward and also empower you in a very, very meaningful way. Now, in the last episode, we spoke about empowerment, and I talked about it being on two levels, a heartfelt level and a soulful level. I explained the difference between the two, how when you become empowered on a soulful level, it becomes long-lasting, enduring, unwavering. Do you know what I mean? But when you have empowerment coming from a heartfelt level, yeah, by all means, from within your heart, it will be powerful, okay? By all means, if that's the level you feel you can sort of tap into, that's okay. But what I'm trying to do is get you to delve deeper so that you can understand things on a soulful level. You can incorporate them into your lifestyle. You can incorporate all the soulful aspects of what you want to do, what you want to achieve, all that you feel empowered to kind of be able to understand and use to carry you forward. All right, so I'm going to get there with all of that. Now, it's shocking, isn't it, how a small passage like this can bring up so much. And that's why I love doing this work. You know, that's why I love the fact that, you know, this is channeled writings, which, you know, obviously that's another story. I can go into that another day. But, you know, coming through on a channeled level and automatically writing this material down makes it to me special and powerful in terms of it being writings that are targeted to you on a soulful level, not just stuff that you should read, but stuff that you should look at, you should reflect on, you should delve deeper into the meanings. And, you know, even though it's just a few lines, you know, already I'm beginning to feel so much information coming through to share with you about it, to share with you on a soulful level as well. So your soul can start taking it in, you can start using it to the best of your ability, and you can start helping yourself trust in this inner strength, using this inner strength, making this inner strength work for you in a way that ordinarily you might crumble, or ordinarily you might find it hard to keep going, or you might find it hard to overcome any failures that you've been experiencing, or you might find it hard to just cope with what's going on around you, you know. And it doesn't matter whether you're a parent, whether this is to do with a relationship, this is to do with a job, this is to do with, you know, getting on with your friends or coping with friendships, love, whether it's coping with, you know, family, friends, all that type of thing. You know, this is across board, okay? Trying to deal with any aspect of all these things going on in your life, you will need some form of inner strength. And in the previous episode, I spoke about using that strength to also strengthen others. And I love that. You know, that's an amazing thing. If you can find inner strength, if you can find inner empowerment, and you can use that empowerment, if it's coming from a soulful level, and you can use that inner strength on a soulful level that you will soon get to know that you possess, then you can expand it outwardly to support others, to strengthen others, to empower others and those around you in a positive way, okay? Because you've taken care of business in your own way, but you are now beginning to expand your knowledge, wisdom and understanding beyond yourself toward others. And funnily enough, that's kind of what I've learned and I'm doing now, okay? This year has been one of great reflection for me, and the decision I took, even though I started this channel, the decision I took to begin to be teaching what I have written has been a great one. And the decision to share and extend this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding that's come through the writing that I do, and to expand it outwardly, to teach others, to share it with others, has been a real turning point. The reason it's been a turning point is because I've kind of just always written things down, and I never had the guts to sit in front of camera and start teaching and sharing all that I've come to know through these writings. And then I had a kind of eureka moment, or, you know, sometimes you reach a level where you say, listen, I've got to turn a corner, I've got to turn a page, I need to take things further or a step further, get out of my own way. That's exactly what happened to me. And I had to say, you know what, I need to get out of my own way, and I need to allow this sort of experience of what I've been doing, and allow this kind of knowledge and wisdom of my understanding on a soulful level. It's all been through my writings. Allow that to be shared, allow it to be understood, allow it to be sort of encompassed by other people. Then I feel that, you know, my message is getting across, and people are beginning to understand the importance of their soul, how they can work with their soul, how they can engage their soul, how they can engage their mind, get all those aspects of their nature working together to achieve success, to take you forward, to remain empowered, to remain strengthened in all that you're doing and trying to achieve in your lives. So let's take it back now to where I began, about how do you know you possess this inner power and strength? How do you know it exists? And, you know, once you know it exists, how are you going to use it to turn things around? Now, I think the first place, and this is kind of like a major thing when I'm talking about doing soul work, is you have to begin to trust yourself from within. Okay, that's the first place you must start. Even if it's an external thing, even if externally you have to handle something, you have to manage something, you have to cope with something, you have to overcome something, even though it's external, where does it begin? From within. And not just within on a heartfelt level. I'm going to take you further deeper for you to understand it from a soulful level, okay? And once you understand things from a soulful level, then you can then go forward back into the physical. You can take that knowledge and wisdom forward with you so that you can now cope, manage, deal with, sort out everything on the external. And that's just the way it works. There was a very powerful passage that came through my channeled writings quite early on, where it said, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but as it's kind of coming up, I thought I'd mention it again. It says, these words are not written for you, but for the soul within you. That's the purpose of my writing. And then it said that these words will, you know, they touch that which is within, and then it goes outwardly, not what is outward, to that which is within. I've said it in a bit of a higgledy-piggledy way there, but, you know, I do quote the actual quotes in some of the previous episodes. So if you haven't seen them, go and check them out, because we've come a long way on our soulful understanding and this soulful journey. And now, at this stage, I always have to be mindful, obviously, of any newbies joining. So I have to cover some of the basics, just in case you've joined me for the first time. If you have, you are welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. And don't forget to subscribe if you like what I've said so far and you're enjoying what I've been teaching you so far. And if you are a long sort of standing subscriber, I'm very grateful you're here and you're still with me and you're still learning and growing with each episode. And naturally, I try to avoid repeating myself, but so much kind of intertwined. So some of you may have heard a few things, see it as a reminder. And if you've not heard it, well, that's fantastic. If you're hearing it for the first time and it's going to benefit you, do let me know. As I said, always kind of leave some comments for me. It's lovely. I'm beginning to receive more and I can respond to them. And, you know, it's a lovely feeling when you feel what you're teaching is being understood, is being accommodated, is being embraced by others. And this is where I want to get to with everything I'm doing and sharing. So let's go back to finding this inner strength. Now, I've explained previously that inner work must come from a soulful place. And in order for it to come from a soulful place, you have to understand or get to know and understand your soul. What is its purpose? What is its presence in your life? Where did it come from? How did it journey with you? Why is it here? You know, why is it not visible to you? You know, how are you going to communicate with it? What forms of communication are there? How can you make it instrumental in your life? How can you tap into its presence, its knowledge, its wisdom? How can you tap into that and apply it physically in your life? Now, for those of you who know me, all of this is actually covered in my books, but because we're doing video and you might be listening in on a podcast level, then I have to be brief. But if you want the deep, deep crux of things, then by all means, you can tackle. I mean, if you don't want to tackle anything deep, any book in the Soulful Pathway series kind of covers many of these things in a very nice, quick and easy way. And by all means, as you know, and I've mentioned previously, I am rewriting The Soul Whisperer, which is very much in its raw format. But I've basically in the rewrite kind of chopped it down, not taking away from, you know, what the message is, but simplifying it so that it's an easy read and very easy to understand book. That's a simplified version that'll be coming out soon. So yeah, well, essentially you have to become aware on a soulful level of your soul's presence and purpose in your life. How do you become aware of it? Essentially you have to acknowledge it, and I think that is the first place to start, to just begin from a place of saying, you know, I realize I'm not alone in my life. Obviously we have those we love around us, and we have everything in the physical realm that we have to deal with. But on a soulful level, your soul transitions and transforms alongside you. Now, each process that happens, I do explain it in great depth, but for now, just trust me that it has journeyed from your energy form alongside you, and it is now part of your physical form. Even though it is still vibrating on more of a universal energy compared to what the density of your physical form, its presence and existence is there alongside you. It's not just that, you know, when you pass, suddenly, you know, your soul comes into kind of being and is now going. It's always with you, and it is part of your energy form before you arrived here. And whilst you are here, it is also part of your energy form and the physical aspect of your nature and being on this physical realm, so to speak. Now, when you can acknowledge that you have something like that as part of your life, or has journeyed alongside you, even if you acknowledge it from within, and just take a few moments to say something as simple as, I appreciate and acknowledge the soul's presence in my life. I understand its purpose here, and I know it is journeying with me, and it is basically a companion as part of my physical journey. And it is with me, even when I feel it is not, or even when I don't know it is here. I acknowledge its presence and purpose in my life. You can say something as simple as that. And that acknowledgement, automatically, on a soulful level, you start to vibrate on a much higher frequency, and on an energy level that your soul is beginning to kind of perk up and take notice. Wow, I'm being noticed. I'm being acknowledged. I'm here. My presence is here. And I can now begin to support this person. I can now begin to share some important knowledge and wisdom with this person. I can now begin to tune in to them physically and understand what their wants and needs are. Now, I said in the previous episode that one of the most important things is soul engagement, and I teach you how to engage your soul. I've done an audio which will be in the description, but for now it is important. I give 10 secret steps to soul engagement. They're available in the Soulful Pathway series. If you want to get one of those, you can read through it quite quickly, okay? But failing that, I will be putting out an audio. And I felt it was important to create this audio because it's not easy to stick to those steps if you're just doing it from your head. Obviously, you know, you can. But, you know, initially it might be like, hang on, what's step 2? What's step 3? What did she say? I can't remember, you know, and it all goes out the window. But with the soul engagement steps, that will help you. And I've got a kind of a mini version in the Pathway series, so you can tap in or tune into that if you want to do it kind of in your own way. You know, and have it kind of very simplified. Obviously with the audios I go into more depth, and you know, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter what you want to do. What matters is you are in alignment with some of the things I'm saying. You'll get there in your own way. So yeah, so I spoke about acknowledgement, engaging the soul. And then one of the key things which I speak about quite a lot is the language of the soul, and the fact that its knowledge, the knowledge that it brings with it as part of your journey, is like a map, is like a toolkit, is like, you know, having a first aid box, if you like, of universal knowledge and wisdom. Now, some people say, hang on a minute, you're talking about the soul in the way that, you know, I may perceive, you know, say the universal mind or something like that. And what I would like you to understand is that the soul, on an energy level, is connected to those higher things that may be part of your belief system. So what I'm teaching you is not going to take away from any of that. It's not going to take away from your belief systems in other things. It's going to basically support it, whatever you believe in, but from a soulful level, okay? So, you know, say if you believe in the universal mind and the way things are strung together, or, you know, even the way you perceive God and things like that, you know, it does not matter how you are connected to those things. What I'm going to teach you from a soulful level will support those connections, because the soul is attuned and linked into all those things. So your belief systems are never going to be changed or questioned when I talk about my work. They're going to be supported. Your belief systems are going to be supported by what I teach you. And, you know, some people will say, okay, it's a slight deviation, but I see how it links in to my belief systems that I've had for many, many years, and I don't want to change. I'm not asking you to change them. I'm just saying that explore additional avenues of learning and allow them to support you, okay? So there we go. Now, once we are in tune with our soul, we have our soul engagement going, and we understand the soul's presence and purpose in our life, we can begin to tap into its knowledge and wisdom about the things that we need to cope with. We can begin to tap into its strength, okay? And that's why I spoke about the inner strength that it has, and, you know, the power of drawing on that inner strength, finding that inner strength, and knowing you possess it, and knowing it already exists within you. Now, if you can work on a soulful level and understand the power of your inner strength, its presence there on a soulful level, if you know you possess it and it exists, you can now begin to sort of translate that power into your physical life. And as I explained in the previous episode, I speak about mind engagement, okay, in the new simplified version that I'm doing, because I realized that it's not just tapping into your soul that you have to learn from it, but also being able to tell the mind what you learn, what you understand on a soulful level. Now, I speak about how to get that knowledge and information with you, and I give you 10 secret steps to soul engagement to work through them. But you may be asking, how does the soul tell me that knowledge and wisdom? And I explain in my book that intuition is the language of the soul. So once you start to work on your soul engagement and do some of this inner work, intuitive knowledge and wisdom will begin to come through to you. Now, is it going to be a voice? Is it going to be something that suddenly springs to mind? Every single one of us are going to have different varying degrees of intuition. Now, what is important is, are you going to listen and take note of what is being intuitively shared with you? Now, for the majority of us, when we get intuitive insight, we ignore it. We go, oh yeah, I know, I kind of get the feeling I should do this, but I don't know whether I should. Or I kind of get the feeling that I should take this form of action, but I don't know. Trust me, when you start to do this inner work and you start to get intuitive guidance on a soulful level, you must be willing to listen to it. You must be willing to act on it. This is where your strength will originate from on a soulful level. And once you begin to listen to your inner voice and you begin to take strength and begin to access knowledge and wisdom on an intuitive level, then you are getting in balance and you are beginning to get in tune with what you're supposed to be doing with your life on a soulful level. Now, once you have created that intuitive connection, it's always been there, but it's just lay dormant. When you were a child, it was there in a strong way. But as we grow up and as we kind of get more entangled in the physical world, those connections, those universal and soulful connections begin to be kind of ignored more and more and more, and we just become steeped in the physical. So what I'm teaching you is going to take you back to embracing that childhood connection or reconnecting with it, even though you've ignored it for years possibly. And believe me, I was no different. I didn't even knew all of this exists if it hadn't been for my writings. But ever since I've come to understand it and know it exists, I feel it is my duty to share this knowledge and wisdom with others so that they can embrace it too and build a stronger connection with their soul and, sort of change things in their lives in their own way, but with purpose, but with intent and with soulful clarity, so that you can then translate that into the physical. You can then begin to sort of lock in with what is intuitively being given to you in a strengthened way and say, you know what, I'm sharing that with my mind. I'm now going to engage my mind to understand what I've been receiving on a soulful level, that I can tap into on a soulful level, and I can get the mind involved in, and I can get the mind to now start kicking in so that it can strengthen me. It can help me physically cope with what's going on the external in the way that I know I've been strengthened to do. I know I possess to now translate into my physical life and into all that is physically going on. And once you reach that balance, I speak about in what I teach, I speak about having a partnership and building on that partnership and building on that strength. And although I can't cover it all, it's been covered in the previous episodes in greater depth here and there in various degrees, depending on the passage that I'm covering. And it's also covered in the written word that I've done. But as I said, now I'm making it audio and I'm putting it on video to also kind of embrace those who may not be interested in reading. Obviously, we're not all interested in reading. Some are, some aren't. But the beauty about what I'm doing now with sharing it on video is that you don't have to be. Even if you just listen to each episode, you'll be growing, you'll be learning, you'll be building on all this knowledge. So that's how you know where your inner strength will come from. That's how you understand that you actually do possess it. You just haven't tapped into it and you're just not using it. And if you can tap into all those things and apply all those things, and obviously there's more to come as part of this episode that will take you deeper and delve deeper into many of these connections that you can learn about, that you can build on, that you can understand, then you can use them to change everything in the physical. And you understand where your strength originates, and you become strengthened within yourself, and you possess the strength to overcome anything that is going on in your life. You possess the power to overcome it, because you're not alone. Your soul is with you every step of the way. Well, I hope you loved this particular episode. There will be more to come, of course. Do smash a like on this video. Do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and do share it if you feel that it will help others beyond yourself. That's my intention, of course, to spread the word and get it shared out there, to have more value and meaning to those who may not understand this knowledge or may not have even viewed the soul in this way and in the way that I've come to view it through my writings. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for being there with me, and thanks for your wonderful support. In the meantime, if you would like to become a patron, please feel free to do so. Check out the link in the description. That will take you to my Patreon page. If you'd like to become a patron, I would love to have you, and I'll be overjoyed for you to be part of that process as well. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves, share as much as you can. And if you do feel you are strengthened, share that with others, help strengthen them as well. And if you do so, then you'll be helping expand my message and helping expand all that I feel you can expand on a soulful level, okay? So I'll love and leave you for now. Take care of yourself and take care of those around you. And I'll be back shortly with another episode coming up soon. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.